the blue zones have been pretty well documented, and through National Geographic and Dan Buettner, who I get to hear in person this last December at our annual anti-aging convention. It was fascinating, and he spent a lot of time going to all of these areas around the globe. Sardinia, maybe one of the most famous, Sicily, and people there lead a simple life. Obviously, some things we can't change. We aren't all going to move to Sardinia, although I think the real estate's a bargain over there. But their lifestyle is different. They're eating, not mass-produced foods. They eat some grain and pasta, but it's primarily meats, vegetables they've grown, regular intake of red wine, a lot of exercise because they live on the side of mountains. And so they're just physically active. They're not eating highly processed food and sitting on a couch watching TV for 4 hours every night. They're busy, they're active, and they go to bed early. It is really exciting to read about, and I would encourage you to do that because you can incorporate a number of those things into your life. You can simplify your life. You can decide when to turn off the TV, when to mute the cell phone. We don't need to be looking to see what's new on Facebook or Instagram at 10 o'clock before bed. I mean, that's the last thing you should be doing. The dietary intake, good, healthy, clean foods, and regular exercise. When we take that along with balancing hormones, the results are phenomenal. I think it is real to expect people to live into their 120s in the next few decades. Absolutely. That's my goal, 120. My dad's 100, just turned 100 at Thanksgiving without our help. And thank goodness he's an amazing guy that practiced as a physician till he was 92 back in our hometown of Clare, Michigan. So we can't always change our parents, but we can change our lifestyle, the way we adapt and look at things and what we decide to put in our bodies to help us stick around a little longer. Well, unfortunately, I think modern medicine does a really poor job of addressing all the things that we've just talked about. It doesn't. If you're sick, well, you should get some more exercise, or you should try to eat more fruits and vegetables. Well, everything we've been taught for the last 30 years about the food pyramid is completely upside down. So I would encourage you to read guys like Ben Azadi, Keto Flex, Dr. Dan Pompover in Park City, a friend of mine who's just over the top with his analysis of foods that we eat, from microplastics, to cookware, to fragrances, to everything that we know is very harmful to our bodies. And so making a little decision each day to eat something a little healthier, have a fruit snack at night instead of a bowl of ice cream, making sure that they're all from organic sources, because if they're not, you're being fed a big dose of glyphosate that you don't need. It's very scary, the amounts that are allowed in our American diet. Modern longevity definitely can help to mimic the effects of blue zones, starting with better sleep, regular exercise, eating nutrient-dense foods that aren't heavily laden with pesticides. One of my oldest son is a filmmaker and has been on me for quite some time. He's like, Dad, when they spray these fields, the workers can't go in them for 3 days. If you're eating berries that aren't organic and from an organic source, you're being poisoned, and there's no question. So, we can mimic all of those things very easily, really, with a little bit of planning. Regular exercise, getting your hormone levels checked. It is staggering how many young men I see in their 30s, and now I have several in their 20s. And I just saw a guy, a 20-year-old last week, his testosterone was 210. Well, that's in the 20th percentile. Should be still at 1,000, but we're drinking out of plastic water bottles. We're bombarded with BPAs, with estrogenic compounds that I truly believe that low testosterone deficiency in men in America today is an epidemic. Absolutely an epidemic. When I started doing this 20 years ago, my average patient was 55. Now it's in the 30s and with plenty below that number. So there's a lot that needs to be done. Stainless steel, a water filter at home. I think people should be filtering their water because of the many chemicals and compounds that are in city water supply districts. Even in Aspen, we're in the mountains. Our water tests very good. But I'm buying a machine right now to alkalinize my water and to further purify it, remove heavy metals, toxins that may have leached into the groundwater, so forth. And so getting the acidic, the pH of your body higher into a less acidic stance has many benefits in fighting chronic inflammation. One of the things, if you're interested in learning more about blue zones, is pick up a copy of my book, Beyond the Fountain of Youth. It's now a bestseller on Amazon. I'm really excited about that. And read further. And I just become a student of the whole process, because there's, if it's not important to you for yourself, who is it important for? I mean, this is why I wrote the book in the manner that I did. It's conversational. It's me just sharing with people that I care about. What can we do right now to really change the outcome, to extend our lifespan, to improve vitality, just have a more fulfilling, loving life with the people around us that we care about?